And welcome back to Crypto Hulk. We're continuing from the earlier open show. I'm going to start off. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a crypto advisor, not a lawyer, nothing at all. The worst financial track record of anybody on the planet. If I tell you to invest in something, you better not do it because you will be destroyed. And there you have it. Let's start off here. Codify law, Moses, the lawgiver, XRP transactions, settlements, money that deliver, Ripple, the king of crypto space. We won. Look at Gary's face. Thank you, Henry Brown, for that. It's kind of enlightening there. We got Terry shows up, Julie Renee, Todd Martin. Carl Ross. Let's get right into the show. Let me just check real quick. Mark Gutierrez, member for 2 months. Welcome back again. So what do we got here? Oh, digital currency group, that Silvergate. Okay. What we got? This is kind of troubling. Okay. The FTX destruction is going to destroy this whole crypto space. This is the catalyst. You have to understand this. Almost a month ago, I had a show and I predicted something massive is going to happen in crypto. I had bad feelings that day and something was coming over me. So I just decided it was like a Friday or something. I said, hey, I'm going to speculate, but I really feel some bad shit's going to happen. And it did 3 weeks later. It was this crash we call the FTX crash. This will be the beginning of the black swan. So I had a pretty good feeling on it, you know? This FTX crash, a lot of banks that should not, it was a bunch of people that were skinny dipping in the pool and somebody turned on all the lights. It was at night and they all hopped over the fence. Not naked, of course, they had clothes on, but when they got inside the pool area, they stripped down and started swimming around with each other and playing grab ass. Okay, these are all the bankers and stuff. When FTX collapsed, there was a lot of people that should not be there. Okay, some of the banks, we're going to find out what happened. Is now I think they know everybody that got wrecked, but they're going to keep it a secret. Yes, they are. The FTX creditor information to remain confidential. A judge will keep the information of all creditors in the FTX case sealed for now. Okay. Federal judge granted a preliminary request to maintain the anonymity of the creditors. That means the people that FTX owes, they're going to keep all this a secret. And what's going to happen on these bankruptcy forms is they're going to use black marker and get rid of all the people's names. Then they're going to release the bankruptcy report. But here's where the scam comes in. Okay. Here's where the scam comes in. Let's say that I'm going to look over on the list. Charles and Heather Hatley, you two invested separately, of course, into FTX. And Charles works for Wells Fargo and Heather Hatley works for B of A. Okay. And, but let's say I have stock in B of A because I think it's a great company, but I didn't know that Heather Hatley had invested. She works for the bank. Let's just say Heather works for the bank, whatever, and she invested into FTX, but I invested in B of A. So when FTX gets wrecked, Bank of America gets wrecked, I get wrecked. See how that works? Okay. What did the judge do? The judge covered up the names of all these big corporations that invested in FTX. Why would the judge do that? I want to know, why would the judge cover up the? And I know it's pretty common practice, but you know, this is. But who will this truly benefit? Maybe it's nothing out of the ordinary. Crypto Hulk. This is common procedure. Okay, got it. But who will this protect the most? I want you to somebody to put some answer in there if you know where I'm going with this. Tiny Dog, member for a month. Sam, get down and smash your face. Give me 50. Love your show, Hulk. Keep it up and real. Exodus wallet has FTX built in. I messaged them and they are aware, so they will be updating their wallet soon. That's why I've never had an Exodus wallet. Yeah. Charles Looney is like, it'll benefit the banks and exchanges. Here's how it works. All the rich people at the top, remember, they got the early phone call from Sam Bankman Fried at FTX. The rich ones got the phone call and said, hey guys, me and my creepy looking ex-girlfriend, she's my little side hustle. We're gonna destroy and implode this company. You better pull your money out right now. Bye, guys. Oh, by the way, tonight I'm sleeping on my beanbag again in the office if you need me. So, what's going to happen in this case is all the rich people who have money in these, let's say maybe Goldman Sachs invested in this, and you got money in Goldman Sachs. Maybe Boeing, for God's sakes, maybe Boeing invested in there. Well, they're going to be fucking destroyed, right? So, what I'm showing you is the judge seals all these up. Right now, the rich people already know, and they're slowly pulling all their money out of all the FTX companies that invested in them. And once they've got all their money back, I'm telling you how it's going down. All these people are criminals. That's why I'm great at my channel. So I've worked with criminals my whole life, well, whole career. So what's happening now is, while we don't know the name, so we can't get our money out of these companies that are going to be wrecked very soon, while we cannot get our money out, the Old Boys Network is currently liquidating all their shit and getting it out of all these companies. That's how it goes down. And then when all these rich people took their money out of the companies that invested in FTX, then the judge will release it to us. And by then, guess what? The company is already fucking destroyed. See how that works? There you have it. So, that will be my rendition on that article. So, let me look for the next one. Oh, Digital Currency Group. Here we go. We have this guy named Barry Silbert. I think he talks shit about XRP and stuff. Well, now he's all kinds of fucked up in 6 different languages, all right? The Digital Currency Group reveals 2 billion, that's 2 billion with a B, in liability. It means 2 billion in debt. They are so fucked right now. They're 2 billion in debt. So they went around and tried to borrow money. They went all around to different people and everything. Nobody gave them any money. You know what they were trying to do? I'm going to tell you what. Barry Silbert is the CEO of Digital Currency Group. Barry was one of the people that went to the midnight skinny dip. and he was in there playing grab ass and shit with Sam Bankman-Fried. They were all there grabbing each other's Oscar Myers and stuff. And looks like good old Barry Boy put in $2 billion. I hope the skinny dip was worth it, Barry, because you just fucked up. So yeah, what he was trying to do is borrow a bunch of money. See, look, oh God, this is such a fucking mess for these people. I'm glad we don't get into scammy shit. So Digital Currency Group wanted to become a trillionaire. So these stupid assholes put in, I'm guessing all this is speculation, of course, but they put in like 2 billion into this FTX. They're probably one of the ones that's on the FTX bankruptcy list. I'll bet you, okay? So they're probably going to their friends, hey, can I borrow 2 billion? Oh, sure, let me write you a check tomorrow, Barry. Yeah, they were putting money into Genesis Global Capital. I think Genesis is bankrupt or something. I don't know. But what they did is they were putting money into maybe even companies that would put money into FTX. So maybe if Barry didn't directly invest into FTX, he invested in other companies that did invest in it, and that's how he's getting destroyed. Okay, he's pretty much fucking done. His job is over. Now they're negative 2 billion in the hole. Ripple as a company has over 1 billion in the bank. So technically speaking, Ripple, this little company that everybody wants to talk shit about online, all these fucking computer geek warriors, right? Oh, Ripple, your crypto's only worth 35 cents. No. Well, then how the fuck is Ripple worth 3 billion more than Digital Currency Group, asshole? See what I'm talking about? If the XRP is so bad, it's 35 cents, okay. But yet the company could buy 2 Coinbases, dumbass. Wow, fucking amazing. I'll leave this at that. We might find Barry jump off a boat drunk and drowned. He's got to now come up with $2 billion. I don't think he has it. So there you have that. That's the first article. Now, are we seeing a trend? I'm telling you what, I can see how all this shit is going on. And the judge put a lid on all these companies' names so all the rich guys and girls can get out before you and me. I'll totally acknowledge, okay, judges doing this is normal common practice. Okay, great. Fucking got it. It's the little people like us. We're not going to get the phone call telling us who got caught swimming without their swimming trunks on. The rich people will. They'll get the phone calls. They will liquidate all their shit. And then the judge will release it to us. And by then, all the money's gone. Crypto Hulk knows how it goes. Elias, thanks for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. Dig all the info. Nolan says, digging all the info. Res build. I see real hardline regs coming from all this. Hulk is putting it into beast mode. Boy, Jove, I say I am. Mike McCauley, thanks for your donation to the channel. Thanks, Hulk. Great content. Thanks for your efforts. When I make a show, I'm going to take my real world experience of working with, let's just say, in some capacity, I worked with some of America's biggest criminals. I'm not saying where, which way, when, how, what. I'm trying to keep that on the DL. I'm trying to make sure I have some breath in my lungs tomorrow. So I would interview some of the world's most famous criminals and get information from them. And some of them would have to go to jail for like 200 years and shit. So they would just fucking tell me everything that they did. Like, dude, I'm never getting out of jail anyway. There's no fucking way I could ever get a plea. I got served 200 years in jail. My parole board's in 100 years, and I'm like 50 years old. So unless I live to be 150, I'm never getting out of here. So I've dealt with street grinders, and I've dealt with the most white collar you can imagine. Guys that stole like 4 billion with a B. I'm not going to discuss if I was a counselor, wherever I was, but so I've learned how these higher level people do. Okay, kind of qualifies me to be able to talk about some of this stuff, but I'm not going to get into it too much because or mention names because that would be like a death sentence for me. Alrighty then. We've got Tiny Dog question: if XRP is burned on every transaction, which it is there a limited amount of XRP? If not, who can create more? The reason XRP is so special is at the tail end of it, a portion is lost. A very, very sliver tiny, insy teensy weeny, teeny weeny portion of it is lost so that at the back end, a hacker can whoop, get right in and do the nasty. Okay. That's what these others do not have. Okay. Ethereum came from XRP, just to let you know. All right. But Vitalik didn't do it right. He tried to do the sloppy job, make money quick. That's why Ethereum is the most hackable crypto because he didn't do the right fucking job. That's why at Ripple, you got David Schwartz, Arthur Brito, Evan Schwartz. Excuse me. I forgot the name of forgot the name. Damn it. The guy that invented Stellar also. But I got so many different Jeb McCaleb. Uh, so when you got these geniuses, then you look at crackhead Vitalik. Like seriously, this guy's like probably Sam Bankman-Fried's lost brother. You know, Heather Hatley. Thanks for your donation to the channel. I appreciate that. Your dedication and hard work is much appreciated. Hulk, best channel and chat on the internet. We've got this, y'all. We are so far ahead of the game. Chris Larson, Julian Nason. That's exactly right. Chris Larson too. Forgot about him. So the stuff that is on my channel, you will not hear on any other ones. These people have not. Now look, I'm not saying I have the best channel. I'm not. I'm not trying to put anybody down or any other channel. I would never like. I think, of course, just because it's my channel, I think my channel is the best. I don't get into a court trial, the XRP, and talk about that shit every day because it's fake. So I don't talk about fake shit every day on my channel like other channels. All the crypto, according to Chainalysis, 40% of exchanges are crooked. So now I want you to think of all the people that run crypto shows and read off prices. They're reading off crooked prices. See what I mean? I can go on and on. I don't bash other channels. I bring up dumb shit and irresponsibility on the behalf of crypto producers or whatever they're fucking called. When you promote dumb shit, gold cards, art paintings, now this guy's got to start selling memberships, okay, because he's realized all this scammy shit is like not working, you know? It's just, it goes on and on. Like, I'm not even gonna waste my time with that dumb shit. It's fucking hilarious. All right. Bank of England warns consumers about DeFi risks following FTX collapse. And the question is regulation coming soon? I'm not going to necessarily read, this is a short article, but it's important. Bank of England, Ripple partner, by the way, and the Bank of England uses a pound. Yesterday's show, Bank of England is going to make a digital pound. You know who's a Ripple partner for the Digital Pound Foundation is Ripple. The Bank of England, Ripple partner, everything's Ripple. You got it? So, what is this Bank of England telling us today? He's warning us about exchanges. Um, he's talking about bringing crypto within the regulatory framework. Are you seeing this now? This is all happening, okay? Right before our eyes as all this crypto's crashing. I want you to focus and concentrate on what I'm saying. I'm showing you the big picture and how I think. As all this crypto is just crashing, keep in mind that's the fake crypto. That's the scammy crypto crashing. Some guy in the gym today that I've talked about XRP and stuff, he's like, hey, it looks like all the crypto companies are crashing and this and that. And I said, absolutely. I've been waiting for this to happen. And he's like, what? And I said, because the crypto company I invested in will never crash. In fact, it's going to run the world. In fact, they work with regulators every day all around the world. My crypto's the most regulated one. I said, so when I see all them crash, I love it. Because you know what? All that money of that dumb shit will come pouring into my crypto, and then I'm the millionaire. Okay. He's like, oh. I said, yeah. He's like, you're different than all the news and stuff. You're happy all this is happening. I said, absolutely. This is what we need. My legitimate crypto can't make me rich until we have laws and regulations. And then all the trillions in that crypto will be put into mine. I said, I got this, you know. Rem, was it Remcap 12, Romcap. Thanks for your donation to the channel. Let me go back to here. The central bank is to protect consumers and investors and make sure that crypto can be traded on transparent, fair, and robust marketplaces or exchanges. See, we got none of this. I'm telling you what, the Bank of England, this is all Ripple. When this guy talks, Ripple's talking, okay? Because everything so far has just been a scam. You invest in this and it goes up, yeah, and then it just disappears. The guy runs off with the money. Da, 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 da. See all this? They know. These rich people know that the end is coming for them. They know it. Their destiny is sealed. They know it's now or never. Now it's time to run away with the money because regulations are coming. I'm reading off this article. Bank of England is warning us regulations are coming. Finally, we're seeing all these regs. Finally, we have a Ripple partner who's a big fucking deal. And he's saying we need transparent, fair, robust marketplace. He says we should not wait. We should not wait to develop the regulatory frameworks necessary to prevent a crypto shock. He's telling us we can't wait. This is like desperate. He's telling us, okay? I read some of the words. We should not wait. That sounds to me like right now, right? Like a sense of urgency, kind of. Somebody help me out here. Uh, he's just very, very positive. The Bank of England is very, very positive about crypto regulations. Now we need them right now. That's what it's looking to me like in this article. Then he starts talking about CBDCs. So I know we like our crypto. Our XRP is like the road, the highway. They're going to run on the XRP Ledger, which will increase the value. So maybe like a CBDC is not. Now Ripple can help them make their CBDCs, but they're going to drive on the XRP Ledger highway. Okay. We all know this because the World Wide Web, Ripple gave the World Wide Web the XRP Ledger. Ripple doesn't own that ledger. The world owns it. It's the world's freeway. New people, I hope you understand this. Last, I got one article, and then we're done. Silvergate Bank. Now, what's so important about Silvergate Bank? Because they got the Facebook Libra that became the Meta Diem. Okay. Silvergate had so much money at one point um, that they bought the crypto that was banned by the governments of the world. They were so terrified of Facebook. Oh my God. Everybody in the world, the government leaders, were terrified of Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook money that all the nations in the world ganged up and told him, turn it off, you're done. So he had to prove to him that he was done. So he sold everything to Silvergate Bank. That I'm sure was not cheap. Um, so here's the article. Silvergate, comma, Provident Bank Corp, and Signature Bank, all of them got burned playing with crypto. Uh-oh. Remember what I told you? Okay. Silvergate it's a real bank. And so is Provident Bank Corp. And so these are all banks that probably got into they were at the pool party again. I'm trying to use these little illustrations to help you understand. It's funny and it's humorous, but it helps us all to understand. The lights were off at the pool. Silvergate hopped over the gate. Everybody took their shorts off, jumped in the pool, and they're all bumping uglies and stuff in the water at night, thinking they're all getting away with something. Silvergate's like, "Hey Sam, don't touch me there," or like that. Let's read a little bit in this article. Several major traditional banks with varying degrees of crypto exposure now find themselves unsure of their next move because of the FTX collapse. Uh-oh. Somebody got caught swimming without their shorts on. Most banks are suffering a reduction in deposits or loan defaults from companies that got into FTX. So Silvergate may not have directly invested into FTX, but they loaned a lot of money to companies that did. Okay. So they have an indirect investment into FTX. That's why these court documents are sealed. You got it? Because as I speak right now, all the rich people are getting a phone call. Hello, ABC Bank. Oh, you you did what? Oh, you're going to release all the creditors' name. Well, we're a creditor. Oh, okay. So we need to liquidate a lot of shit because our stocks are going to go to zero once the public finds out. Okay, we'll sell off every bit of whatever crypto that thing was. Okay, we'll do that. All right, bye. Oh shit! I've got to get rid of whatever because they're going to release our name as a creditor to FTX, and our stock is going to go to zero. That's what's going on right now. Multiple digital asset businesses, um, they use the Silvergate Exchange Network, a real-time payment system to transfer dollars between themselves. So, Silvergate Capital Corporation is the parent company of Silvergate Bank. Silvergate Bank is regulated. Oh, really? So why the fuck? See, here's the deal. Now, maybe Silvergate wanted to get into FTX. I'm telling you, this is all my speculation, but I know how these little bastards work. So Silvergate knew that they're not allowed to, let's say, get into FTX, but their friend is a investment banker, maybe at JP Morgan, whatever, some other company, right? So Silvergate wants to make a ton. So what they do is they give their friend who runs ABC Investments $50 million. Their friend invests in it and stuff, and they're supposed to pay back the loan. Well, all the shit went bad. And Silvergate, even though maybe they didn't directly invest in FTX, they put a lot. See, here's how it works. They put a ton of money into like scammy. They gave money. See here, and guess who's going to have to pay it all back? Here's the scam, everybody. We are. So a regulated bank doesn't directly, unless they want to go to jail or something. So what the banks will do that are regulated is contact their friends who are in investment brokerages or whatever, and buy into an FTX, pump the price up. I mean, and then probably Silvergate secretly bought the big whatever FTX was cheap. Like it's like this. Silvergate will buy a bunch. Maybe they did something like this. Here, I would do something like this if I was a criminal. I'd buy $100 million worth of FTX. Okay, when it's like $1 a piece, right? Then, after I bought $100 million at $1 a piece, I'd tell my friend, "Hey, you want a loan? Get this shit, pump the fuck out of it. When it's worth $20, I'll sell. So now we have 200 million, maybe we got 2 billion. Then you'll file bankruptcy and I'll just pay you back. It's all good. I don't go to jail because I didn't invest in scammy shit. You did, but it's not illegal for you to invest in scammy shit. Just me. See how all this works? That's exactly what happened with Silvergate. And this is the kind of shit you don't hear on another channel. Okay. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a crypto oracle. Okay. So Eric and XRP Preacher and Tiny Dogs and Nolan and Jacques Howell, that is how the American taxpayers are going to have to pay all this fucking money. See, you also helped, if any of you bought FTX, you also helped all this to happen because you were watching Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. He was pumping that shit up. Tom Brady and all these other dumbasses were pumping it all up. Silvergate's loaning out hella millions and billions to any financial investor that would. And that just drove that price of the FTT up so high. Then Silvergate sells it off and just makes a fuck ton of money. And all the people that used our federal money for FDIC, you know, they used all this shit, and now it's gone. So now all these companies are going to try to get their money back from the federal government and everything, and it's not going to happen because their money's not FDIC. So Silvergate will get paid back, okay? They'll get paid back. Their friends won't. And then Silvergate gets two things. They get paid back from making bad loans. The government will bail them out or something like that, I'm sure. And then they'll also make money because they secretly invested in FTT. Got it? That's how shit works. Hell's Bells. Thanks for your donation to the channel. Kevin O'Leary said buy H-bar. Well, we now know that means don't buy H-bar, according to Kevin O'Leary. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Charles Looney says, thank you, Heather. FTX F35. I don't know what that shit means. So there you have it. You just saw how this whole thing is going to get fucking destroyed. And the part that's sad is that we get fucked over. We got to pay all this money in our taxes. They're already high. Makes somebody want to get high, huh? So all these banks that are regulated get destroyed. But since they did a good, solid business practice, they didn't invest in FTX on paper. They did secretly. All these banks get paid back. No problem with them. The investment houses, all the poor people that invested in them, they get destroyed and wiped out. The business guy who used to own ABC Investments, he just simply files a bankruptcy. He's done. And guess what? Opens up another corporation and then he runs Series A funding. He gets funded. Now he's got $1 billion again. And they do the whole thing over again. See how all this works? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just figuring out that's what I would do if I was a criminal. And a year or two from now, these people are rich again. Nobody's going to jail because if I own a business and I make bad decisions, I don't go to jail because Sam Bankman-Fried does bad decisions. I go to jail if I do something illegal, but if I'm an investment guy, I'm going to the bank. I'm getting a big ass loan, as big as I can get it, and I got these investment people that are going to help put money into my fund. If I buy FTX and I buy $1 million, I'll buy $100 million in a security or whatever it is of FTX. And I can get a ton of people to start getting into my fund. And then when everything goes bad, I don't get in trouble because I did the due diligence. Sam's the one who's going to get in trouble. But guess what? Sam's not getting in trouble because he bribed all their Congress people and bribed his own government. See, then in the end, it's always us that get the fuck job. That's how it works. All these fuckers can start a new LLC. They can start a new business. They get registered in a different state or a different country, and within a year or two, they're billionaires again. And then we're all broke. Our life savings is gone. That's how it works. So that's why I don't get into no scammy shit. I don't promote stuff. There's very few channels that are going to look out for you. There's no shit that I promote. Like, I'm talking about all the other stuff. I'm not getting into all that. So anyway, that's our lesson for today. We're watching the destruction of cryptocurrency, which will then bring about global problems. You're going to see it all real soon. It's going to get really scary and bad. In the end, we know that we win because we got the right stuff, the right cryptos. I'm in XRP because they put out reports every 3 months. They show them to the whole world, everything they're doing. I'm not concerned. If anything, XRP is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not going to ever crash because it does the right thing. That's why I've been making this show. XRP is going to be priced high priced. Exactly. Self-custody, popcorn, and chill. Terry Toole. Well, that's the show for today. Thanks for watching. If I can find if I can find good articles for tomorrow, I'll make a show. Until then, take care.